seen your Munford cooking show. They will help you make food like a pro. Like a pro.
Okay, so welcome back to another episode of the Junior
and Senior Munford Cooking Show.
Right, so this week it's we're going to kind of continue with the presentation theme, but it's all about canapés, posh little starters basically, and these can be made into starters, a light meal, or just great party food, anything on the go. So Junior, what are we going to make today?
So we're making 3 canapés. It's going to be sort of by the theme of kind of multicultural, Mexican, Greek and Italian is what we're going to make. And we're going to be sort of making the base for these. It's going to be a bit of a sort of tortilla flatbread situation, but all made from scratch.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, you could call this a tortilla tapas type situation. Actually.
Fantastic. So, and again, when we were planning this earlier, we did agree that this is a real serious dovetailing opportunity here, isn't it?
A lot of dovetailing.
A hell of a lot of dovetailing. You've got to really plan this out. Nothing's particularly complicated, but you've got to have a lot of things going on at the same time. Right, Junior, so what's up first?
Okay, so we're going to prepare everything, all our ingredients, ready for the assembly line where we have the finished canapé. We're going to start with the Mexican one because the flavours need to marinate. The Pico de Gallo needs to kind of rest a little while for the flavours to infuse.
Fantastic. Right, let's get cracking then, shall we, Junior? Okay, so Junior, this Pico de Gallo thing, basically this is just chopped up tomatoes, onion, bit of garlic, 2 jalapenos.
That's right, yeah. Bit of lime juice in there.
Right, brilliant. A little bit of lime goes in next. Just half a lime in there.
We're going to go for a whole lime in this one.
It's got to be quite a sort of like exciting flavour, isn't it, going on with the Mexican?
Exactly, it's really tangy, isn't it? Exciting. Great for a party.
So we're going to put jalapenos in this, but you could just put like your normal average regular chilli in there, couldn't you? Depending on how kind of hot and spicy you want it.
Yeah.
And next up, a little bit of garlic. How many cloves of garlic are going in there?
I'm going to go for 2 in this.
So what else goes in this little fella?
Next I'm going to go for the jalapenos.
We're going for the old jalapenos, yeah.
I'm going to take a healthy forkful there.
Because these
Probably
fellas
go for a
aren't,
fork and a half.
they aren't too hot, are they?
No, they're just above mild, I'd say. You know, kind of medium.
So a good choice if you don't like your stuff too spicy.
And you just want to roughly chop these, really. There's nice chunks in there. You can really obsess with a salsa or pico de gallo, which is basically what this is. It's just a salsa. You can really obsess with sort of, you know, perfect geometry, but it's not essential. It's the flavour, I think.
Yeah, well, it's nice if it looks good, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's got to look good, but
And that's more about presentation.
I'm just really kind of squishing these in a little pile, chopping them both ways. Kind of like a speedy dicing technique there.
Yeah, still using your kind of chlorine bulb there, aren't you?
Yep.
Beautiful. So, anything else got to go in there?
So coriander goes in next.
A little bit of coriander, yeah.
A little bit of coriander. A nice handful, I'd say. Really goes well with the lime coriander. It's sort of a central part of any Mexican cooking.
Yeah.
Coriander, paprika, limes.
That is quite a large handful, that Junior, but you have got quite a large hand, haven't you?
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to use a spoon. Just sort of turn all that over. Getting the juice from the bottom, really bringing it to the top.
I was going to say, you don't really need to add any other liquid to this, do you? Because
Not at all.
there's a lot of juice coming from those tomatoes and onions, isn't there?
That's right, yeah.
And your jalapenos.
Yeah, a little bit of a sort of tiny vinegary taste from the jalapenos would be nice.
Beautiful.
Okay, and then once that's all mixed, admire your nice colours and set that aside.
Fantastic. Beautiful. So we were just going to prepare the red pepper next, weren't we?
That's right.
And what's the red pepper for?
That's for the Italian canapé.
Oh, okay, for the Italian canapé. So we're getting this prepped now because this has got to cook in the oven for probably 15
20 minutes. Yeah.
180, something like that.
That's right.
We preheated our oven, so while our beautiful mix sounds to hear our Pico de Gallo is kind of marinating,
Yeah.
we're going to cook our red pepper.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Dovetailing in practice.
We'll get him out of the way so we can marinate in comfort.
And then I'm just going to take a small knife
Small knife.
to carve this red pepper. Even just a steak knife works.
Yeah.
It's a bit sort of unwielding really using a big knife. Can be...
Yeah, you've got to be quite delicate with that, haven't you?
Exactly.
You don't want to be wasting too much pepper.
You just kind of carve it out like a pumpkin almost.
Yeah, all the seeds and the old nasty white stuff.
And you want these kind of fairly chunky. I think do a bit of a variety actually. So you can, when you get to the presentation stage, you've got some kind of different
Yeah, you've got a few options there to play with, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'll get that tray out the oven for you, Junior.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Lovely little sizzle there. Little bit of olive oil.
A little bit of olive oil over the top. Not too much, or it's all you can taste really, and it's just not healthy, is it? Let's be
No,
honest.
absolutely. I'll give it a little shake around, get well covered. So, pop your nose in the oven, 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Beautiful.
They should be nice and soft and tender when you're when they're ready.
Fantastic.
And next we're going to do the yogurt. Is that right?
Let's go straight into that yogurt, Junior.
So we're going for about three canapés here. So I'm going to go for about 3-4 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
One for
Exactly. And I'm going to start with a half teaspoon of chipotle. They do tend to kind of differ. Give the pot a good stir. A nice half teaspoon. And then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to sort of vigorously stir that. I just want to kind of stir that through so you get a kind of marbled effect.
Lovely. Yeah, so no vigorous whisking there, just a little gentle stir.
No, otherwise you just kind of end up with orange yogurt, really.
So what's the chipotle yogurt going with? What's that? What we're matching that with today?
That's going with the Pico de Gallo. Again, Chipotle's kind of a Mexican themed ingredient, really.
Yeah.
Native to their region. It's sort of basically dried smoked chilies blended up with spices.
Do love a bit of chipotle.
And it's advisable you do try a little bit. That's nice. I'm just getting that chipotle flavour. It's not too overpowering.
Because you want that yogurt nice and cooling, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So what's next then, Junior?
Okay, so we're going to make the tortilla dough. We're going to allow it to rest, and then we're going to move on to the tapenade.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Right. So what goes into our tortillas then?
Okay, so we've got 250 grams of plain flour. We're going to put a bowl on the scales. Measure up about 250. Seems to be about a cup and a half.
Fantastic.
And then we're going to put our 2 tablespoons of veg oil in there.
this makes about 6 tortillas, is that right?
That's right. I'm going to put some salt in there as well. About half a teaspoon.
Here you go, Junior. Bear in mind we use micro spoons in this house.
And then I'm just going to stir that all together.
So it's just salt, plain flour, and a little bit of vegetable oil.
That's right. And then we've got 150ml warm water. You won't probably have to use it all. I reckon it's a bit too much.
So if you remember back to the old Chipotle days, it's just adding it a little bit at a time, isn't it?
That's right.
It's a nice, easy recipe, the tortilla, isn't it?
Nice and simple.
I know you were saying earlier we're going to make them a little bit thicker than you would normally make a tortilla.
Bit like a flatbread. Yeah. Yeah.
Same ingredients, really. isn't it?
Flatbread's very similar. Sometimes you can add yogurt or something to it if you want to. Excuse the dog in the background there.
Yeah, I was just going to check on him, make sure he's alright. You alright, Doug? He's okay.
So as predicted, not quite all water.
Pretty close though, isn't it?
Pretty
Only
close.
a little dribble left in the bottom there.
I mean, they say flours are all different. They absorb differently, so. You just want it to be a sort of reasonably smooth dough before you take it out of the bowl.
Yeah.
And it won't make a right mess.
So many old cheats of dough here, you're not getting involved with it until it's kind of mixed, are you? You know,
Exactly.
no hands involved yet.
Tempting as it may be.
You don't want to get covered in dough, do you? It's all right, messy business.
And then as you feel it getting sticky, you want to sort of add flour to it. Again, it's that wet, add more flour. Too dry,
Yeah.
add more water.
So if it's sticking to your hands, a little bit more flour. How long have you got to sort of need this for, Jimmy?
I think it's a 2 to 3 minute situation.
Right, so you've needed that for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Bit of cling film over the top,
that's right.
because we have to let this fella rest, don't we? Yeah. It's not like going to rise or anything, is it, as such? But it's just going to have a little chill out for a while. Here you go. Beautiful.
Put that to the side.
Fantastic. Right, so we've got our yogurt done, we've got our Pico de Gallo done, and we have just taken out the red peppers. And how can we tell they're actually like ready, Genia?
So they're just a little bit charred around the edges, a little bit crispy, tiny bit sort of brown,
Yeah.
and quite soft as well.
Beautiful. So we've got those all ready to roll, which is fantastic. But next we're doing our tapenade, aren't we?
That's right.
Fantastic. So what goes into the old tapenade?
So we've got black olives, calamata, and we've got garlic, lemon juice, salt, pepper, a bit of parsley. You can add anchovies or capers or both if you want. We don't have anchovies because we're vegan, but we don't have capers because
We just don't have capers.
No.
Right. It's a bit of a
No
caper.
reason,
It's
yeah.
a bit of a caper around here, isn't it? So really, I mean, this one we're just kind of making this up as we're going along.
That's it.
Using what you've got, and obviously we're going to taste this to make sure it tastes nice, adjust the seasoning. But basically, a couple of cloves of garlic, a load of black olives,
Yeah.
bit of parsley. No need for chopping here, is there? We're just going to peel the garlic and we're going to put that with our black olives and our parsley and just blend it.
That's right.
So when we blend it, are we going to blend this? Is this going to be like finely blended, or are we going to go for a rough?
We're going to go for somewhere between the two, actually.
Okay.
A little bit of texture, but quite
Yeah.
fine at the same time. So we might add a few olives in later,
Yeah,
reserve a few.
yeah, fantastic. Right, so we've blended all those ingredients together. So that was the parsley, bit of lemon juice, the black olives, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper.
That's right. And
Can
that's-
add capers if you got them. And you know, I've got to mention, Junior just happened to break the blender. you know the little clippy thing that you have to click in to make it go, snapped off, didn't it, Junior?
Clean snap.
It was a
Complete
clean
and
snap, you know, but we managed to improvise to save the show, thank heavens.
That was my idea.
Anyway, enough about that. Let's get that into a little pot and have a little look, shall we? So we did taste it, didn't we? And it was very nice.
Piquant, the flavours are,
Piquant,
they say.
yeah.
Piquant.
And I think as you commented, Junior, it don't look great on its own, does it?
No, it looks a bit like haggis, or something like that.
Yeah, it does look
It's got that
like
very
haggis,
sort of earthy grey colour to it.
Yeah.
But don't be deceived, it's delicious.
Yeah, we did taste it and it must admit it's very nice.
And highly nutritious.
God, yeah, it's highly nutritious, isn't it? And very healthy too. Beautiful. Fantastic. Right, so tapenade done. We're now going to prepare the figs, which are going to go with that tapenade. But the figs are like really sweet, aren't they?
Quite tart.
Yeah. And that should really kind of go with that tapenade rather nicely, shouldn't it? Right, okay, let's slice those fellas up then, shall we?
I'm going to go for the nice big ones. The nice sort of long ones.
Yeah.
Check your fig, make sure it's not mouldy. If you do see a little bit of mould, just chop round it. There we go, just cut that bit off.
So I mean, you know, as we said at the start here, we are sort of like cutting and preparing everything to create these little canapés at the beginning here, and then at the end really it's just a kind of an assembly exercise, isn't it? Making them all look beautiful.
I think it's actually rather, it's like an artist, isn't it? You know, you get all your colours ready, don't you?
Absolutely. Prepare the palette.
And I was particularly excited today to work with these figs because I don't eat figs very often. I've had a fig roll or two in my time, but never just a straight up fig.
No, it's not something that you kind of eat very often, is it? I mean, they're quite an unusual looking thing as well, aren't they? I mean, when you look at that, when you slice into it, it's almost a little bit scary, isn't it?
It is. You're right. Nice sharp knife will help with this.
Yeah.
Quite delicate inside of that fig. So we're just taking any bits that don't look very pretty, any sides, put them to the side. You can eat them if you want.
Beautiful.
I'm just going to put that back in. Probably make sure you've got about 7 or 8 bits, I reckon.
Obviously, it depends on the number of canapés you're going to make here, isn't it? Because we don't want to be wasting food, really, do we?
Okay.
Beautiful.
So that should do us on the figs. Just going to put that to the side.
Fantastic. So last but not least, we're getting ready our Italian canapés now, aren't we?
That's right.
So it's really just going to be a bit of cheese.
Yep.
We're using a sort of a vegan...
kind of a vegan feta, isn't it?
It is like a vegan feta, but mozzarella would be ideal. Bit of basil, and then we'll be using those beautifully roasted red peppers, won't we?
Yep.
Right, let's go for it, Junior.
Fantastic. So I'm just turning it around to its kind of straightest edge. And I'm going to get nice cubes. Again, I'm going to do a little bit of a variety here. I'm going to use about half. And though I do say get a bit of a variety, the thing is with canapés, if you were doing this in a professional environment, you'd want consistency. So all those canapés are going to need to look the same. So I've got my cubes, you know, roughly looking the same. You know, we don't need to get obsessed, but
no need to get cubist about it. Is
sense of uniform, yeah.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to put them in a bowl, just to the side. Get a nice clean board.
Give that a little wipe down.
Otherwise our basil won't be looking so pretty.
I can always cut this bit out. Right, so basil.
So I'm just pinching at the stem and I'm just getting these little sprigs at the top. You want them, just sort of clean them up nicely. And when you handle basil, really, you don't want to handle it. You want to just work around the edges.
It is one of the most delicate herbs in the known universe, isn't it?
It bruises, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very
It
easily.
goes black, you know, it still tastes lovely, but you know, if you're using it fresh, you've got to be very, very gentle with it.
I'm just going to go for 3 or 4 little sprigs here. Keys with this is little bits. I quite like this sort of little kind of buddy top bit.
Mm-hmm.
Find that
But you
nice.
can just kind of, if you've got bigger leaves, you can just tear them, can't you, when you're going to be making your and assembling your canapé.
That's right, you can just use shreds. Lovely, that'll do us for now.
But no chopping required. Right, so last thing we've got to do then is make these tortillas, isn't it? So this little fella has been like just resting, chilling for about 15 minutes while the old peppers were cooking in the oven. And now we've just got to roll them out, haven't we? Because we're going to roll them out and then we're going to use a little cookie cutter to cut out our perfectly shaped little tortilla flatbread type things.
Yep.
Bases, that's the word.
Let's roll.
Roll. Let's roll, Junior. That does look quite doughy, doesn't it?
It's nice and doughy. That oil always really has a nice doughiness to it.
It does give it a nice elasticity, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. So you want to get your thickness right here as well, making sure you're evenly pressing down everywhere.
And it's not sticking to the board.
That's important.
And we were going to go for a slightly thicker tortilla base than you would normally, won't we? Because normally tortillas are wafer thin. But these are going to be a little bit thicker. Because if it was as thin as a regular tortilla, then probably as soon as you put anything on it, it's just going to flop when you pick it up. So we're preheating our pan over here, and he's probably quite warm now, isn't he?
I'd say so.
So don't need
Max heat as well, we've gone for, haven't we? Number 6.
Yeah, don't need a lot of oil. We could use our new spray oil, couldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we're trying to be healthy here. Little spray. I'll keep an eye on the pan, Junior, make sure it's not getting too hot. but it looks all
I
right.
think I've done about 10 now.
Beautiful. Yeah, that looks fantastic, Junior. Obviously, you can squish this up, can't you, and
Make more if you wish. Yeah.
make another load out of that if necessary. Right, okay, so we finished cooking our little tortilla blini type things, didn't we? Little bit of spray oil in your pan, and they probably took, I don't know,
1 or 2 minutes.
couple of minutes each side, just until they're sort of golden brown like that. They're not very thick, so they won't take long to cook. So, first off, Junior, what are we making first? What are
So
we
we're gonna start with the Mexican themed one,
Beautiful.
the Pico de Gallo, which is what I'm gonna start with. I'm just taking from the top here, not getting any of those sort of lime juices. Don't worry, the flavour will be in there. And I'm not over sort of powering it. There's still a bit of blini visible at the bottom. And there's just like a sort of 1/4 teaspoon of that yogurt stuff on there.
Fantastic, beautiful. Okay, so that's our Mexican man. Right, so next, Junior, it's the Greek one, isn't it?
It's the Greek one, tapenade and fig.
Beautiful.
I think this is quite an exciting flavour. You know, if you were quite a bit of a foodie at a party or something, you might really enjoy this. You could impress a guest with that. Give them something that they've never tried before. I'm going to go for a sturdier bit of fig to achieve what I want to do.
Fantastic. And obviously you can kind of experiment with this, can't you?
Exactly, it's all a big experiment.
Whatever suits you, really. Beautiful. Okay, so last but not least is the old Italian, which was quite a simple one to get going, wasn't it, really?
It is,
You know,
it's mostly just kind of building blocks, this one.
absolutely.
So you take your blini thing, you put your cube of cheese, or piece of slice of cheese, whatever you're putting on there.
So yeah, we use that sort of, it's a Greek sort of white feta, but mozzarella would work beautifully well.
And then I just take the red pepper and sort of just curl it round. The key with this one is you want to sort of get a good visual on the white, the red and the green. So
That's
you've got
it.
that sort of Italian flag thing going on.
Beautiful.
And that's that.
Fantastic. Right, so okay, here we are back in the Munford garden, and we've got our canapés in front of us, and you know, but I think you'll agree they turned out rather beautifully. Which was your favourite, Junior, do you think, out of those?
I think I was actually really pleased with how the fig and the tapenade tasted. Really nice flavour combination.
Yeah.
Fig cuts through the tapenade really nicely, vice versa. But these ones look really nice. They have a really sort of natural, lovely looking.
I did like the Italian
Yes.
job, you know,
Yeah.
and the way it's, you know, captured the Italian flag, and they're so simple and easy to make, aren't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely, you know, dead easy. And then your Pico de Gallo. Yeah. You know, always a family favourite, that one. And that little bit of yoghurt just kind of cools it down beautifully,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Very nice indeed. So, guys, you know, we've used the ingredients we've used, and we put together these little canapés. But you can use whatever you like, whatever you've got looking about, can't you? It doesn't have to be this stuff.
Absolutely.
This is just the sort of thing we like. But whatever you want, put them on. I mean, I would suggest the tortilla bases worked really well.
good, really good.
Nice and easy to make. It's another skill to demonstrate, isn't it? The
Yeah.
old tortillas. But yeah, beautiful. So, see what you can come up with, guys. We want some nice canapés out of you.
Nice and colourful.
Got to
nice
look
and
beautiful, haven't it?
Vibrant, yeah.
Vibrant
Artsy, vibrant,
colours, yeah.
colourful,
Fantastic.
all those things.
Well, there you go. Another successful episode of the
the
Junior and Senior Munford Cooking Show. See you next time, guys.
Junior, Senior, Munford Cooking Show.